Hello everyone, in this video I will be discussing 8051 call instructions. Call instruction is used to call subroutine, and subroutine is a group of instructions written separately from the main program to perform a function that occurs repeatedly in the main program so that it makes a program more structured in addition to saving memory space. In 8051 there are two types of call instruction. One is long call and another is absolute call. So for long call, the instruction is lcall and it is a 3-byte instruction. First byte is for the opcode. Second and third bytes are used for address of target subroutine. That means here subroutine can be located anywhere within 64 kilobytes of address space, because address of target subroutine is 2 bytes, that is 16 bits. 2 to the power of 16 equal to 64 kilobytes of address space. Next, absolute call. The instruction for absolute call is acall and it is a 2-byte instruction. The lower order 5 bits in the first byte used for opcode and higher order 3 bits in the first byte plus second byte, together total 11 bits are used for address of target subroutine. That means here subroutine is located anywhere within 2 kilobytes of address space, because 2 to the power of 11 equal to 2 kilobytes. Okay, when a subroutine is called from main program, the control will transfer to subroutine. But before transferring control to subroutine, processor or controller will perform some operations. That is, it has to store address of the instruction immediately below the call instruction. That is nothing but it has to store the program counter content onto the stack, because program counter always holds the address of the next instruction being executed. So here now the question is, why it has to store next instruction address onto the stack? Because it is the return address of the main program. On finishing the execution of subroutine, control has to come back to this address and it continues its execution. Okay, once it stores return address onto the stack, now the new address where the subroutine is located loaded to the program counter and it executes subroutine. After finishing execution of the subroutine, the instruction RET transfers control back to the caller or main program. On the execution of this RET instruction, it retrieves the return address from the stack, which is stored before the execution of subroutine, and that address will be loaded to the program counter and hence control transfer to main program and it continues its execution. Let's consider this program and we'll see how can you use call instruction to call the subroutine. So in this program, complementing all the bits of port 1 by sending data 55H and AAH. So here AAH is complement of the 55. So the first instruction is move a, 55H, load immediate data 55 to the accumulator, and then move P1, A, send 55H to port 1. So here whenever we are sending the data to the any of the ports, the data must be available in the accumulator. So only here we are writing move a, 55H and then move P1, A. So next instruction lcall delay. So once send the data, so we are generating some amount of delay by using subroutine. So this is the delay subroutine. The subroutine name is delay, so that is specified in instruction here. So here I use the lcall, even we can use acall also. So on the execution of this lcall delay instruction, it stores the address of next instruction below it, that is move a comma hash 0ah instruction address stored onto the stack, and the program counter will be loaded with new value where the subroutine is located. So in this case, subroutine is written starting from the address 300h. So this 300h will be loaded to the program counter, and then it starts its execution. So in the subroutine, we are generating some amount of delay by using the counter. So here R5 as a counter, move R5 comma hash 0 FFH. So loading the FFH to the R5, and then dchanged R5 comma again. So again is given to the same instruction itself. That means it stays here only until R5 becomes 0. Once R5 becomes 0, it will come out of the loop, and the very next instruction RET will execute. So here the amount of delay depends upon the frequency of the 8051 and the time taken by the each instruction. Okay, on the execution of this RET instruction, it pops the address from the stack, that is the return address which is stored before the execution of this subroutine. That address will be loaded to the program counter, and it resumes executing the instruction after the call, that is move a comma hash 0ah. So now complementing the accumulator content by sending this data, and then move p1 comma a, send ah to port 1, complement all the bits of port 1, and then again call delay by using lcall delay. So on the execution of this instruction, it stores the address of instruction below it, that is sjmp back, that will be stored onto the stack, and the new value, that is 300h, loaded to the program counter and control transfer to this subroutine, and it executes this subroutine. And the last instruction in this subroutine is RET. On the execution of this RET instruction, it pops the return address from the stack, that will be loaded to the program counter, and it resumes its execution after the call instruction in this main program, that is sjmp back. So here the back is given to the very first instruction. So that means this program will run indefinitely. So this is how you can use the subroutine in the program by using call instructions.